Hey, this is Brian.
Jason.
And this is the Perfectly Screwed podcast. So, something I was going to talk about. Have you heard about what's going on in the news? I don't know. You don't listen to news that often.
No.
Well, a bunch of things have been going on.
Not a big news person. I guess it depends on the news. My niece was in a bus wreck.
What?
That's news, right?
What happened to your niece?
They were on their way to the Shrine Circus up in Fort Wayne, and there was a.
Did she get hurt?
No, nobody was hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But there was three buses involved in this wreck.
No shit.
Yeah, I guess the lead bus. So I guess somebody slams on their brakes in front of them. They swerve to go around. The second bus, which was the bus my niece was in, rear ends
the car.
Uh-huh. And then the third bus behind them rear ends the other bus.
The other bus. Well, I'm sure the car is in good shape in the front.
Up by Fort Wayne, so that's newsworthy, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
It was on the Fort Wayne News.
Well,
which, I mean, it was crazy. The crazy part is, well, obviously they don't get to go to the circus, which sucks. But what was real crazy, I thought, was that they had to take every kid individually and take them all to the hospital and take them all in individually and have them all checked out. Nobody was hurt.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about
that was wild.
More about national news, actually.
Yeah, I figured you was.
Texas is... Okay. Biden and the Supreme Court told Texas they have to take the razor wire down at the border. Texas's governor said, fuck you, and is defying federal government and started putting the razor wire back up on his own. Then he sent his own people and his National Guards and Texas Rangers down to the border to stop people from coming in. So Texas is talking about seceding from the United States, or trying to. The problem with this is they wouldn't make it a month, because the moment a state succeeds, if they're allowed to, first of all, but they don't realize they lose all federal funding. Social Security stops. Medicare stops. All FDIC banking stops. All funds from the federal government are done. You have no Army, no National Guard. You have nothing.
You'd be your own country, right?
Well, yeah, but you would have no access to any money from the United States. So all funds that had United States money, including all private citizens' bank accounts, would at that point be completely frozen. Good luck. Good fucking luck, guys.
I don't know, I guess.
Not only that, but since you don't want illegals in the country, motherfucker, that's cool and all, but the moment you succeed, you become an illegal. So what if we put a fucking wall around your state and just say, well, hey, guys, can't come over here.
This is where my mind goes.
Gotta stay over in Texas, buddy. Look,
is there that many people climbing the fence?
I guess.
I figured they were tunneling under, or
I don't fucking know.
Cutting a hole, wire cutters, and you know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. They're not going to succeed, because if you succeed from the United States, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're right.
You're completely fucked. Yeah. What are you going to do? You have no country. You can't support yourself.
Like you said, then the fence just moves to...
to the border of Texas.
To the north border.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you can put up a border all you want. Now Mexico's free to roam. I mean, they can come over anytime they want.
So all this is just over some razor wire at the top of the fence.
It's over the fact that he doesn't want people coming over the border. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. It's nonsense. And eventually he's going to cave, so I don't even know why he did it.
And anybody that has any brains at all understands that it's not immigrants that the government wants to keep out of the United States. It's undocumented immigrants that you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah, because it's a business.
But
the United States is a corporation, and everybody that's documented is worth money.
If you want to be technical, we are undocumented immigrants anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, England didn't send their good people over here. I mean, you weren't a rich
But we have
dude
birth
that-
certificates.
Well, yeah, but that's because we were born here generation after generation. But, I mean, originally, I mean, those people just showed up on this country with people already and said, fuck you.
True, but that was before we were. That was before we were a corporation.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, the other news I wanted to mention, which is even crazier, is as of right now, Trump cannot be on the ballot in Colorado because of the 14th Amendment.
What's the 14th Amendment?
The 14th Amendment says if you try to cause an insurrection or rebellion against the United States government, you are ineligible to run for public office. So, because of that January 6th thing, the Colorado Supreme Court said that classifies Trump as leading an insurrection. So, right now it's in the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court rules that Colorado is correct in this, then he's not allowed to run at all.
So, if Colorado keeps him off the ballot, he can't run for
No,
president. Period.
right now Colorado's on the ballot, but it's going to the U.S. Supreme Court. If the U.S. Supreme Court says, yes, Colorado was cool, that's right, he violated the 14th Amendment,
okay.
then he's barred from ever running for president at all.
That's not happening.
Ever again. Well, I assume Colorado will take it out. Or I assume the Supreme Court will take it out and say it's political, and therefore they can't rule on it. Or they'll delay it till after the election.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't assume they would just... I mean, if they do that, dude, oh my God, do you know how much he will fucking bitch and complain and whine?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he'll be on his true social media like, the Supreme Court's a bunch of fucking faggots.
It's too much of a.
Fuck you.
But it's so much. It's theater. Trump brings way too much theater to not allow him on the ballot. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see how he's going to be a president if they convict him. I mean, they already ruled on that defamation
Well, I don't
lawsuit.
think anybody could see how he was ever going to be president in the first place, but he was.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of hard to rule as president if you're a felon and in prison. That makes it a lot harder.
Well, true.
Yeah. I mean, he already lost the defamation suit. He owes that chick $83.3 million because he said he didn't rape her in the dressing room, and clearly he did. I mean, but, yeah.
Well, when you have $83.3 million, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's way more than that.
Right.
Well, until the other RICO case is cited against him for that fraud thing, then he won't quite have as much money. They're gonna fucking ream his asshole on that one.
I wonder how much money he's worth.
I think like $300-400 million. I mean, he's not rich. He's just, nowadays that ain't shit. I mean,
Yeah,
Jeff Bezos makes $7.8 million a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos wipes his ass with 20s. It's cool. He made $7.8 million a minute. Jesus Christ. I couldn't even imagine that. I wouldn't even work. It would be a whole day. I'd be done. I'd be cool. I could retire off of one day of his income.
I'd be done after 1 minute.
He said, I'm just thinking 7.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine one
No, I
day,
can't.
boy. Hundreds of
You
millions
can't.
of dollars in one day. That would be enough. I'd be like, 400 million? Made it today? All right, we done. Fuck Amazon and you. It can run itself.
That's
I don't
right.
care.
Yeah.
We're done.
People. What's wrong with the world? What's wrong with the economy? Well, well, this guy over here is making $7.8 million per minute.
Trump's
It's a little problem.
tax plan kicked in this year too. People are real pissed about that.
What's that?
Not me personally. The one he did back in 2017, which gave cuts to huge corporations and billionaires and fucked all the normal people. It wasn't kicked in because of COVID. It was delayed because of the whole COVID thing. But as of this year and next year, it kicks in. So as of this year, people saw a huge leap in their taxes, and they owe money when they never did before because it gives tax breaks to corporations and fucks everybody else.
So you mean corporations owe money?
No, normal people,
Normal people. Nice.
of course. Corporations don't have money. But anyways, let's get to the episode. Because
Okay.
if we don't, we're going to be here all day talking about Trump and his tax problems. Me, myself, I made quite a bit back in taxes. We're not going to discuss the exact number, but it's near 10,000.
Nice.
So, I like it, yes. It's lovely. Next year, I'm going to make even more. But anyways, what are we discussing today? Well, I thought we'd do Old Sonny of Sam. Old Sammy.
Old David Berkowitz?
Old Davey Berkey.
All right.
Yeah, well, we'll start David. I don't know how many episodes we'll run with David, because David had some issues. David had a lot of issues. So where should I start with David? You want to start with the reasons behind David before we get into his childhood and stuff, or the reasons?
Why
I
do they
said?
call him Son of Sam?
That's what he said. The exact reason is because...
Who's Sam? Like,
Okay, well, I can go into that too. Sam was his next door neighbor. David Berkowitz was a mailman in New York City in the 1970s. He had a next door neighbor named Sam. Okay, David Berkowitz said that Sam's Labrador Retriever would bark, and as he was sitting in his apartment, he would hear the Labrador Retriever bark. And the Labrador Retriever then was talking to him through his barks and became a demon and would tell David when to go out and murder young women. So he
the
wrote...
dog would?
Yeah, the dog would.
Damn.
So he said he was the son of Sam. Right. So Sam was his neighbor and the dog was the demon telling David to go out and murder people. So when he wrote to the media, because Berkowitz used to write a lot of letters to the media, teasing them, saying, I'm Mr. Monster, and I'm the son of Sam, and the only way you're going to ever stop me is to kill me, and all kinds of crazy shit, because he was a narcissist, like so many serial killers, and clearly a lunatic. They said he was schizophrenic, then they said he wasn't. He said he was, then he said he wasn't. He said he heard the dog, then he said he didn't. So, who knows?
Right.
Now, his motivations behind most of the killings, and he said this himself, he wasn't intending, he killed mostly couples or young women with a .44 caliber handgun in New York City. He'd just go up and shoot them.
Nice.
But he said his motivation wasn't to kill the guy. He never wanted to kill the guys. He wanted to kill the girls. The guys just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, making out with the girls, so he took both of them out. Because you can't leave witnesses, I mean, obviously, clearly.
Right.
If the guy's there, he's got to shoot him too.
So the dog was sexist.
yeah, something like that. Well, no, Berkowitz was, and some of his motivations that come straight from him was, Berkowitz was a chubby kid. Chubby his whole life. He was a chubby, kind of fat, ugly guy. Wasn't attractive. He'd only had sex one time that we know of in his whole entire life. It was with a prostitute. He got an STD from her.
Oh, man.
So he had a very negative tone for women. He liked women, and he said he masturbated frequently. But he was also very religious, and he was raised really religious by his adopted mother. So what happened was it was a conflicting moral quandary. He hated himself because he was masturbating, but he needed to masturbate constantly because he had this sexual perversion and deviant behavior. And these are the reasons he killed very attractive women, because he couldn't have them. He was intimidated by them. He thought that they hated him because of his ugliness, and he was afraid to actually approach women in real life, but it gained him power to kill them. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He also said that it turned him on sexually when he shot him, because it gave him power over the attractive women that he in real life could never ever have.
Right.
Right. So he said even when he would masturbate, he'd masturbate and then cry and beg God for forgiveness for his evilness and then masturbate again. Well, right there, you're a psychopath. I mean, Jesus, man. I mean,
Wow.
And just another way religion has helped the world.
I mean, how do people get this information? You
It's
know?
stuff he said.
It's just crazy. Like,
I mean, he said this in interviews.
wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, "Oh my God!" I mean, it's he's
Interesting.
he's insane. Yeah, clearly. I mean, first of all, to act like this. But anyways, you were talking about the Son of Sam, so let's read some of his letters really quickly before we get deep into him. His first letter to the media was, "I am deeply hurt by your calling me a woman hater. I am not, but I am a monster. I am the Son of Sam. I am a little brat. When Father Sam gets drunk, he gets mean. He beats his family. Sometimes he ties me to the back of the house. Other times he locks me in the garage. Sam loves to drink blood. Go out and kill, commands Father Sam. Behind our house, some rest, mostly young, raped and slaughtered, their blood drained, just bones now. Papa Sam keeps me locked in the attic too. I can't get out, but I look out the attic window and watch the world go by. I feel like an outsider. I am on a different wavelength than everybody else, programmed to kill. However, to stop me, you must kill me. Attention all police, shoot me first. Shoot to kill or else. Keep out of my way or you will die. Papa Sam is old now. He needs some blood to preserve his youth. He has had too many heart attacks. Too many heart attacks. Me, hoot, it hurts, sonny boy. I miss my pretty princess most of all. She's resting in Our Lady's house, but I'll see her soon. I am the monster, Beelzebub, the chubby behemoth. I love to hunt, prowling the streets looking for fair game, tasty meat. The women of Queens are the prettiest of all. I must be the water they drink. I live for the hunt. My life blood for Papa. My Barilli, sir. I don't want to kill anymore. No, sir, no more, but I must honor thy father. I want to make love to the world. I love people. I don't belong on earth. Return me to the Yahoos, to the people of the Queens. I love you, and I want you to wish all of you a happy Easter. May God bless you in this life and in the next, and for now I say goodbye and good night. Please, let me haunt you with these words. I'll be back. Yes, I'll be back. To be interpreted as bang, 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 yours in murder, Mr. Monster.
What the hell?
Shit. Okay. I'm not saying he was schizophrenic, but he was schizophrenic, man. Look, if you got those thoughts running around in your goddamn head, and there is no Papa Sam, and he's sitting in the attic looking out the window, and see, a lot of psychiatrists have looked over these letters, some of them, and what they say is that, like, schizophrenics have, you know, somebody locked inside their head, different personalities sometimes. So what they believe is, when he was writing this, he was two people. You see how the tone changed?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a killer, but I am. And at the beginning, he's talking like a completely different person. It's almost like that crazy part of him was locked inside his brain. And like he said, looking out the attic window, he sees the world go by, but that he can't get out. And occasionally he gets out. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's like the schizophrenic part of his brain, man, coming out.
Yeah,
Now-
almost a split personality.
Yeah. So here's another letter he wrote. This was sent to the New York Daily News. It says, "Not knowing what the future holds, I shall say farewell, and I will see you at the next job. Or should I say I will see my handiwork at the next job. Remember Miss Laura? Thank you. In their blood and from the gutter. Sam's Creation, 44. He was like writing Bible verses.
But it's almost like he's writing, like you said, to the back and forth,
Yeah.
to himself.
Mm-hmm. And then he writes, here are some names to help you along. Forward them to the inspector for use by NCIC. The Duke of Death, the Wicked King of Wicker, the 22 Disciples of Hell, John Wheaties, Rapist and Suff, Okator of Young Girls. P.S. JB, please inform all the detectives working the slaying to remain quiet. And there's some more letters, but I can't read some of these because his handwriting's atrocious. Okay. Here's another letter he wrote. Because Craig is Craig, so must the streets be filled with Craig. And in parentheses, he puts Craig means death. Yeah. And then he writes this crazy satanic Son of Sam symbol. It looks like...
What the fuck is that?
It's something he would draw, man, on all his, at his crime scenes. It was like 2 arrows, 2 circles, downward cross, upward cross, and an S.
Wow.
And huge drops of lead poured down upon their head until she was dead. Yet the cats still come out at night to mate, and the sparrows still sing in the morning. What the fucking hell is wrong with you, dog? Jesus Christ, man.
I kind of feel bad for his neighbor. Like how he get locked up in all this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Son of Sam.
And then he wrote another letter. He said, I am so glad, and I can't read the name, has been apprehended, but I wish that someone would help me. Final desperation. I am not well. Not well at all.
No, you're not.
No, you are not. Not at all, Sonny Jim. Boy, Jesus. So let's get into Mr. Berkowitz. And I can already see this is going to be a 3-parter here. Okay, he was born Richard David Falco, but his name was changed to David Richard Berkowitz. He was known as the Son of Sam and the 44 caliber killer.
Why Berkowitz? Was that his adopted parents?
Yeah, that's his adopted parents. He actually thought his real parents were dead, but come to find out they weren't. That'll play later. He committed 8 shootings in New York City that began on July 29, 1976. He grew up in New York and served in the United States Army. He used a 44 caliber Bulldog revolver. He killed 6 people and wounded 7 others by July 1977. He eluded the biggest manhunt in the city's history while leaving letters that mocked the police and promised further crimes. And he was highly publicized by the press. Let's get into his early life. Like I said, he was born Richard David Falco, and he was born on June 1st, 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. Within a few days of his birth, his biological mother, Elizabeth Betty Brody, gave Berkowitz away. And she had grown up as part of a poor family. And she was working at a waitress. And in 1936, she married a man named Tony Falco. And after a marriage of less than 4 years, Falco left her for another woman. So she gave Berkowitz up pretty much immediately. Richard was adopted by Pearl and Nathan Berkowitz of the Bronx.
Wait a minute. How old was he when she gave him away?
Within a few days of his birth.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. She got married in 1936, and he was born in 1953. So, I mean, they were together. I mean, it said they were only together less than 4 years, but he must have impregnated her. But Berkowitz was born in 53. So, yeah, she gave him up almost immediately.
Okay.
Oh, well, it doesn't say that. I guess her last name was Falco at the time because she married Tony Falco. So, it doesn't say who Berkowitz's father was. But her last name was still Falco, so even though he left her for another woman, I guess, her last name is still Falco.
So we don't know who his real father is.
He does later, he finds him, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he was adopted by Pearl and Nathan Berkowitz of the Bronx. They were hardware store retailers who didn't have much money either. They were broke motherfuckers. They were middle-aged and childless. They reversed the order of the boy's first and middle names and gave him their own surname. So they changed his name to David Richard Berkowitz instead of Richard David Falco. So they changed his names.
Okay.
So they made his middle name his first name and his first name his middle name.
Right.
We know his childhood was somewhat troubled. He had extremely above average intelligence, which serial killers, above average intelligence, kind of goes hand in hand, really.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Like, really intelligent people, a lot of them happen to be crazy as fuck. So,
I would say a lot of crazy motherfuckers just happen to be intelligent.
Very
Right,
intelligent.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I consider us intelligent, but we don't go around fucking shooting motherfuckers.
I know. But he lost interest in education at an early age, probably because he was more intelligent than most of his class, so he was bored with it, so he just decided not to go to school. But he became infatuated with petty larceny and starting fires. He was, Berkowitz, interestingly enough, was also a huge arsonist. He
was a larcenist.
Yeah. But he loved to start fires. In fact, before he started murdering people, he started fires all over New York City.
Really?
Yeah, he was just fascinated by watching things burn.
I mean...
And maybe that has something to do with the schizophrenic part.
I don't necessarily consider that crazy, though. I mean, I know people that like to watch it burn.
Yeah, but watching people burn in a building is a whole different
story.
story.
watching people burn. I mean, I don't think he burnt people, did he?
He lit the buildings on fire, yeah, with people in them. Yeah. So
Did anybody die, though?
I don't know. I haven't read that far into it yet. I don't believe so, no. But he did light buildings on fire. But anyways...
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Just because he likes to watch shit burn doesn't necessarily make you...
No, it doesn't make you a serial killer, but it makes you slightly abnormal. I mean, we all have a fascination with fire, but we don't go lighting buildings on fire just for shits and giggles.
No, that's true.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going to end this now. That's part 1 of Berkowitz, and we will see you next time.
All right, later.